Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to give you a quick tour of the Turkey Run campgrounds. I did a walking on foot tour. I walked all of the campgrounds except for the youth camp. I did not go there. I did not have access to it, and in fact when we were staying there, there was a youth group camping there, but I'll show you very quickly the map. All of these sites have electricity. There are water hookups periodically throughout, so you'll see these little things here, that's water, but there is not water at each site. There are RV waste dumps here, and then there's one way up here, and then there's one way up here. You enter in here, it is the enter and exit. You're allowed one car per campsite. If you have more than one car, the other car has to park here in the visitor's lot. There is a camp store here and another water hookup. You can also buy wood at the camp store, but you cannot buy ice at the camp store. You used to be able to buy ice at the camp store. You cannot now, which was news to us, but you can buy firewood. If the camp store is closed, you can buy firewood here at the ranger station. They will open it up at night in case you need fire. And then the youth campgrounds are here. You enter here. I will say we love 14 and 15. This is our favorite spots, so that's where we'll start from. But I have camped all over the place over here. I have not camped in this little circle. I've only camped on this side once. I prefer not to camp on this side. One, it's very primitive. It's a really long walk to the good toilets. You have just the primitive toilets. And two, I'll scroll down a little bit and you can see there is a highway here. And the only thing separating you from the highway is basically a chicken wire fence. And you can hear the highway roads, which another reason we were really glad we didn't camp on this side this time is there was a lot of road construction and it was very noisy, and we were way over here and we were still hearing it. So I don't like to camp there. And we like this side because look how large these lots are compared to these lots. These lots are very small. They're meant more for campers and RVs. We are tent campers, so the larger lots are nicer. I don't like to camp in the heavily wooded areas, so this is heavily wooded, down here is heavily wooded. I don't want to be too close to the playground, which is here, and you'll see it on our walkthrough video. There's two playgrounds here and up here. There are accessible sites. 217 was the one closest to us, and across from it is 261. So these four, I want to say almost all of the accessible sites are on the side we like to camp on. They have a lot less grass and a lot more concrete, which is nice. I will say only two of the spots are being used, so they do like to hold them back, and people are pretty respectful of that. The other video I've posted of the bathrooms already, and that would be the bathrooms here and then a primitive toilet here. I would not camp anywhere near the primitive toilets, especially in the summer. Despite their best efforts, they do smell, and you can smell them from pretty far away, so that can be slightly unnerving. But that is that. This side here also tends to flood more, and the 200s tend to flood less. So I prefer the 200 side. My brother and sister-in-law prefer the 100 side, but they have a very large RV and we tent camp. So that's the difference there, but do note the size of the lots are different. And when we go on the walking tour, I'll point that out and you can kind of tell on there. That being said, I walked this entire campground in an hour and I sped it up. So you don't have a whole hour of walking tour. I sped it up to double time. But it took me a whole hour to do that, which is roughly about 3 miles, a little over 3 miles. So it's not horrible. You will see a lot of people that have bikes or motorized scooters or motorized bikes to get around places, especially if you're going to camp farther from the good bathrooms. We brought motorized scooters last year when my brother and sister-in-law were here with us because they were quite far away. We did not bring scooters this year. It was a quick trip, but they are quite common there. And it's pretty rowdy on the weekends. Weekdays, not horrible. Quiet hours do start at 11, so it's not too bad. Granted, not everybody abides by quiet hours, but a lot do. So, but again, it's not horrible. We have been going here for about 20 years. My kids have been going here since they were babies. At 6 months old, my two oldest were 6 months old when they first came here. My youngest, since she was born in September, she was almost a year old when she went camping with us. We mainly camp in June, but we have camped all summer and into early fall. We tend to get rained on at least one day, and we just did when we came home. There is no laundromat, so don't plan on doing laundry there. There is no laundromat. There used to be one in town, but we drove by it and it was closed. So there's no way to clean your laundry, which was a big negative for us and actually cut one of our trips short. Our entire campsite flooded. It was a horrific rain. All of our clothes, sleeping bags, pillows, everything were wet. We had no way to dry it, and we just went home because there was no access to a laundromat. So be aware of that. Otherwise, please stay and watch our walking tour. So like I said, we started in 2:15 and we're really close to the good bathrooms. There's a whole nother video about that, but there's a lot of warnings about raccoons. Raccoons are very prominent here. They have no shame. They think they're dogs. They openly walked on our campsite several times, broad daylight. So do not feed the raccoons. I know they're super cute and make chittering noises and stuff, but they will bite your face off. But they were very prominent. So right there where that camper is, that is one of the handicap spots. I will say that person had an extremely hard time parking their camper there. So if you had like a big camper, I maybe would have went to the handicap spot that's next to the bathroom that you'll see when we loop around. This is one of the dark forest offshoots. It is very dark. There are no streetlights here. This is a lot darker than where we camp. We tend to camp on the more cleared area. Less likely to get ticks, even though we don't usually get a lot of ticks here. However, this year we did find two. My son found one on his tent and I found one on my sock. So always, always, always look for ticks. This is a water spigot here. So again, they don't have individual water hookups for their RVs, but there is water filling areas. This is just a water fountain though. The water filling areas have specific spots. I think there's only 2 of them. So be aware of that. But most of these spots aren't really meant for tent camping. They're meant for RV camping because they are kind of rocky. They're not really grassy. The ground is not soft. You have to move a lot of things to get around there. So this is the first little outlet. We're coming back up. We're coming back up on the good bathroom. And now we're going to take a right to the other part. Straight in front is the playground, and we'll get a closer look of it, but it is there. These spots are nice. I like the spots right off the main road. I don't have an issue with them. I find them quite nice. There can be an issue if there's no shade though, so be aware of that. This one site to the right, do not get this corner site if you are in a tent. There's really no place to pitch a tent. It's for an RV to pull through. Now if you had a large RV, I would pick that site because you wouldn't have to back in or out of it. All of these sites have their own electric hookup with 2 plugs in there and then 2 larger plugs. So 2 normal outlets and 2 like big voltage outlets that the RVs would need. This is during the week. I will say that Turkey Run was quite empty when we did this. I'm also walking at, I think it's like 5:45 in the morning because they are Eastern time, and we were able to get up and about. Most people were not awake yet. but it still was pretty empty. These spots are normally very full. Usually they fill up right away, and you have to fight for spots. You can book a spot 6 months before the first date of check-in. So if you were checking in on June 1st, you can do it 6 months from June 1st versus doing, if you were staying all the way to the 7th or 8th. This is again one of the more primitive wooded areas. If you look at the ground, it's not really conducive to tents. I wouldn't want to pitch a tent on the ground. It's very rocky. It's not nice grass. I'm kind of bougie that way though. I always put a tarp down, then my tent on a tarp, but that is what this area is. I'm stopping here to make sure that the camera is still recording. We're going to be coming up on the primitive toilet to the right, up here, up the hill. You can smell the toilet from here. So this far back, you could smell the toilet. I would not camp anywhere near these toilets, especially in the summer. It's just awful. I will say though, and I said it in my other video, they have been upgraded. So they actually are a lot nicer than they were. They got upgraded sometime last year between our last camping trip and now. They are upgraded. This one does not have a cement pad heading up to it, but other ones do. Now when we leave this, we're going to see the playground on the right. Also from where we camp, we can see the playground, but it's not right next to it, which is great, especially if you have kids that want to play constantly, but you don't want them to play constantly, or if there's super loud, rowdy kids. There wasn't that many kids this time. We went there before when there's been 50 kids at the playground playing football or soccer or on the playground equipment and tag and hide and seek and stuff. There really just wasn't that many kids this time around. We have also camped on this side tent camping. We've camped to the left, and my in-laws have camped to the right in our tents. It wasn't a bad area. There is no shade. I did notice there's a lot more mosquitoes in this area than there was where we normally camp. I'm not going to walk up to the playground, but I will pan and show you guys where the playground was, or is, sorry. It's there. It's a very primitive wood playground. It has 2 slides on it. It's meant for littler kids. There is a tire swing that is quite dangerous in that kids fly off of it all the time. They spin each other around on it, which it's a lot of fun, but probably should supervise the children around the tire swing. Now we're going back the direction we came, so now we're double backing so we can go to the other side. We just passed a handicap spot, and you can kind of tell how large the cement area is, and we're going to pass another one so I can show that one to you versus the other spots. This again, the good bathroom. That car was parked there the whole time. You were not supposed to park your extra car there. You're supposed to park it in the visitor's lot. You can get ticketed. I've never seen anybody get ticketed, but you can. So coming up on the right is a handicap spot, and you can kind of see how large, well, the right and left, you can see how large the cement area is compared to the other spots. So these are quite large cement areas, which is great, especially if you have to take a lift or something out. And then to the left is a non-handicap spot, so you can see how that's quite smaller than the larger handicap spot. This is the first dumpster that I'm showing you. There are 2 or 3 of these throughout, but there's a bunch at the front. We like, because we're close, we can walk through it. It's supposed to be closed. It was open all night, which means raccoons were just living their best lives. This is the side right against the highway with all the road noise. And they were doing really extensive road construction when we were there, which I just felt miserable for this side. This hill is wicked. There are signs that are like, don't skate on this hill, walk your bike down this hill. I've seen little kids crash down this hill. It is a wicked, wicked hill. We're coming up to another primitive toilet on the left. We're walking up on the entrance, and this is where there are 4 dumpsters plus an RV waste dump station. This is the entrance. We are coming up on a water fill station on the right so that RVs can come in and fill their water tanks. We're coming up on another primitive toilet on the right. Again, you can smell it from back here. As you can tell with that primitive toilet, it did have a concrete pad leading up to it. We stayed in this spot on the right when it was 115 degrees outside and I had 2 small children at the time. It was miserable. We were in a tent. There was a thunderstorm. All the campsites lost power, which means we also lost our fans. It was absolutely crazy, but we stuck it out. Straight ahead of us is another bathroom. This is a bathroom and shower house. I can't guarantee one of the other ones is not a shower house or not, but that is the other shower house for this side. It is much smaller than the other bathroom. Coming up on the right again is the second playground, and this is actually a much nicer playground. It has more newer equipment. The equipment is plastic and it's not going to give you blisters or tetanus. However, there's a weird like seesaw spinny thing. Kids love it, I don't know. Also coming up on the right is a water fill and waste dump and 2 dumpsters. There's a trail here that will lead you to the lodge, so you could take that trail and go to the lodge. We're going to turn here. I'm also going to show you there's lots of chalk art on the ground, which is great. It's one of my favorite parts, seeing all the art, seeing everything. My husband told me to turn around and get this one getting toasted with marshmallows because my shirt says camping gets me lit, so he thought that was funny. Again, we are pivoting back and we're going back towards a bathroom. This is, if I can remember off memory, because it's been many years since I've been to this side of the campground, there are 3 stalls and 1 handicap stall, and there are 2 normal showers and a handicap shower, and you cannot walk through the stalls to the showers like you can in the other bathroom. You have to go outside. So the stalls and the showers are actually completely different rooms. One enters from the front here is the actual stalls, and then from the back is the showers. So from the back side here, that is where you would enter the showers in the bathroom. There are separate doors, not connected at all, which is unfortunate if you have a child that has to go pee right before they take a shower or in the middle of a shower. So that is an unfortunate part of this bathroom. We're coming up to another set of bathrooms on the left. I cannot guarantee these have showers included because don't have any recollection of ever being in these. I've never stayed this close to the entrance. But I'm going to assume they're like the other ones because there's an entrance on both sides. Also to the right, I love this tiny little camper. It's called a Scamp. It's pretty amazing. We can get a little better look at this little Scamp camper coming up to the left. Now we have walked the entire campground and we are going to loop back to where we started. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe and have a wonderful day.